All right, folks, we're live. We're live. Welcome everybody back to Knuckle Family and Friend Podcast. I'm your host RL Knuckles. We're here. We discuss, all things video games. Here, superheroes, anime, and in the pop culture department. And always, I got semi-part crew right here. We're missing one other person again, but Anthony is here after a long departure, and he's pretty salty about last week. And I gave him a chance to speak his piece about last week's episode, but he said no. So I mean, hey man, I gave you a chance. I gave you a chance, but we can all just say he enjoyed the episode. He almost teared up a bit because it was great hearing Chadwick Boseman's voice again. So I'll speak for him since he doesn't want to speak for himself. So on that episode, at least, not on episode 3. Oh, by the way, you and Rachel have something in common now, and I think Rachel knows what that is.
Huh?
You and Anthony have something in common that I don't have.
Oh, PS5.
Yep.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah.
nice. She's part of the club.
Yeah, got it through GameStop because I paid that extra $15 to be a pro member.
hmm
I'm just here, with my PS4. It can still play. I still have friends. I still have friends. I don't. I
Hey,
don't. I
there's
don't.
not. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I'll be honest. Like, I just
I
kind of
mean, there's
gave
not
in.
many games, but if it's one game I really want a PS5, and that's Horizon, which they did announce the release date.
February.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's a white girl dance for you right there, everybody. White girl
Yep.
dance. Yeah. Yeah. See, we bring diversity to the show.
Mm-hmm.
We love everybody, and there she is with her Apple. She's
Yep.
excited. She is a big. She is a big
Yeah.
Horizon. Which
I do my wiggle dance.
I want to show you. Wait, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Actually, hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh man.
I know we're on the topic of what if, but I want to show Rachel this though. I don't know what you think about this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is she like anime-fied?
Oh my god. So what if she is? Like, you just fucked up the whole entire group right there, man.
I wasn't
Like,
saying it to be mean. I was just asking because I was like, and I didn't know how to say it. Like like what do you even say to that? Like, what's the word like converted to anime look?
well, I'll let the artist look.
Yeah.
Does look nice though. I like it.
Yeah. I forgot the artist's name that did this. Fuck. But he has been in the like the Philadelphia conventions and whatnot, so he is around here. So it's not like he's far away or anything like that. But yeah, we're not gonna get it. We're not gonna stay on Halo or anything like that. But we'll get to the future. But today we have episode 3 of What If, and this is when what happens if the Avengers were not assembled. And since Anthony has not been in the past episodes, I'm gonna give him the floor first. But I will say, man, this was a pretty dark episode. I would not recommend kids watching this episode if you want to see your favorite heroes dying like that. I don't know. It was just something about where I'm like, I mean, great. I've seen worse, darker stuff, but it was just like, just seeing them die off like that. It's like I don't know. I felt some type of way about it, but none to say less. I'll let Anthony start this discussion.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good to be back. I did miss being a part of this for the last couple episodes. Just like going off of what you said, I didn't want to talk too much about last week's episode, just because I hated missing it, missing the podcast for it. So, but to carry on for this one, I thought it was a very cool episode. I mean, it was very dark, like you were saying, but it was very interesting to see them like show like all of the heroes like being taken out like one by one, like day by day, and so okay, so I have to backtrack because first of all, I haven't been able to talk about it, but the Watcher is creepy to me. Something about him, like he's like the all-knowing. He's like God or
We
something like
we
that.
see we saw more of him in this episode than in the last episodes. He's always like out there in the sky every time we get to like a new location.
Yeah, but like like just showing like his silhouettes in different like scenes, and like just his eyeballs like watching everything. It's like a pretty cool like thing that they do, but it's creepy. Um, but but going off of the episode though, like I mean, I just think that it's interesting to see how it all started because like they started with um, Fury and Black Widow kind of like talking and like they're kind of like the ones out searching for everybody. And I didn't really think that it was Agent Romanoff that kind of was like the person that was just like his only go-to, like the very first like Avenger. So that to me was like kind of like I was kind of just like, that's like interesting how like the scene where she goes to speak to when they go to speak to Tony Stark. Um, Now just recently rewatched like Iron Man 1, and it
You
was
mean two
Coulson
or
that
the first one?
no, the very first one, and it was Coulson that first introduced himself and was kind of like seeking him out for Shield. So, and in this one, it seemed like it was like Nick Fury and Black Widow that kind of came to him about this initiative. So I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if you guys have see it a different way, but yeah, I don't. I mean, should I just like announce what I want to say and like give it away automatically? But it's like the whole Ant-Man situation here, like being like the person that can literally take out the entire Avengers team was mad interesting because like he's not really looked at. Well, he wasn't. It wasn't Ant-Man. It was the guy.
Hank Pym.
Yeah.
His yellow jacket.
Yeah,
Okay. So
that was the yellow jacket from in the what the guy bad guy used in the first Ant-Man. Which, by the way, he Hank Pym looked like he was on some drugs. He looked like he hasn't like slept in days. Like,
yeah,
I have hold on, I have a picture right here of it right here. Like, share a screen real fast. Like, he just looked like he was on
he looked
like
cracked
awesome.
out.
Like he looked mad.
Yeah,
Basically,
man.
just a poor dad that just went insane. Went crazy, but just his daughter and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like I like the fact that they went off of like he lost his wife, and then it was like his daughter was a part of Shield way before, Ant-Man and him giving her the suit because he was like protecting her. So it's kind of cool to kind of see that like this is like taking a different approach to
Mhm.
like how the heroes like got started because now this kind of seems that like she was already involved way before anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that it was kind of interesting. I thought it was like weird that like he was targeting the team instead of going after
Going after Nick
Samuel
Fury.
or going
'Cause I
after
guess
Nick Fury.
he said I want you to lose people like I did, which honestly to me, not to cut you off, I seen that shit before. Oh, I lost my mother, or I lost my wife, I lost my daughter, and like in this revenge, like I seen this shit before. Like his reason, I get it, but it's like it's nothing new that I have not seen. So I was just like, and but how he killed him though was interesting though, very very interesting. Like because I think we can all agree. We all at first were like, "Who's the?" We had a feeling like it was somebody close. Obviously, like they had to know Nick who the Avengers were. We're not the Avengers quite Avengers, but they had to know who Shield was, who Nick Fury was. So it was definitely somebody inside. But I'm like, Hank Pym was the last person I expect until. Like I said, I'm sorry for cutting you off in the end. Go ahead. I'm
You
sorry.
good?
I don't want to cut you off.
No, you good. No, you're good because yeah, it was pretty much like I was kind of in the dark the entire time because I like that they went back to each like kind of movie and kind of
Yeah.
replayed the movie scenes. But when the first person got taken out, even when they were like going after Thor, and then like the arrow like was released, and Hawkeye was kind of like, I didn't do that, like I would never do that. It kind of I was like, okay, then somebody shot an arrow behind him or something because it was
Yeah,
definitely
that's
an
what I was
arrow,
thinking.
and it never came across my mind that it would be the Hornet, or him, being the person behind everything. Like the way he killed the Hawk, like throwing like an explosive device at his heart. Like I'm like, yo, this is like crazy. It's almost like going back to like when they show like in DC Batman like killing the entire Justice League
Oh,
because he
Justice
was
League
that smart.
Doom. Well, no, it wasn't
Yeah,
Doom. Was it called Doom?
I don't know if it was Doom.
It was, but like the movie where he's like he had each plan, like Vander Savage like took his plans and kind of made him instead of neutralizing them, he was kind of killed them. And Batman was like,
Yeah,
Justice League's being under attack by me. That shit was dope.
yeah, because it's the least expected person to take out all of the team. You know what I mean? Like it's like Batman. Who is Batman? He doesn't have any super strength or anything like that, but he has intelligence. So it's like with the Hornet, like obviously like he can shrink himself down, and he's super smart too. So it's like wow, like man, he like thought out how to kill all of these like different people. So. I don't know. I don't want to, take away too much. I will let Rachel kind of get in there, and you get in there too. Maybe kind of just turn them off.
Rachel, my friend, you can go second.
Well, I'll just say it's funny that how do you pronounce his name again? Calhoun, whatever the fuck his name is, the agent guy.
Coulson.
Yeah. How his man crushes are just hilarious. Of like,
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say. I know what you're about to say. I know you're about,
yeah,
what
like
you're about to
he
say.
has gorgeous hair. It's an accurate description. Like,
And then Hawkeye was like, he's not lying. He really has good
Yeah.
hair.
and then his password that's like or no, Steve or something like that or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I thought those bits were funny. I kind of guessed something similar to Ant-Man being involved after Hulk because when she was saying like, oh, it looked like something like a projectile came out of the needle, not like a poison or something. I was like, well, like obviously it's you can't unless you make like somehow ammunition that's that tiny, but then how would it kill Hulk? I was thinking like, well, what could be that tiny inside of it? And I was kind of like guessing. And then once I saw Widow being like beat up by basically something invisible, I was like, okay, it has to be like Ant-Man or something.
When she said hope,
Oh man.
when she said hope, then I'm like, okay, now it makes sense. I thought the person was invisible. I'm like, the hell is her? And man, nice. I'm sorry, to cut you off, Rachel. I wanted Black Widow to survive so bad. I'm like, oh my god, she made it through half of the episode. Now she's gotta die. I'm like, oh my god, no.
She died bad too.
Yeah, with her last dying breath, she helped Fury. That's a ride or die chick right there.
Did anyone else, even though it's supposed to be like gruesome, did anyone else laugh when Hulk exploded?
I was like, yo, what the fuck? My
Yeah,
face
I
was
was
just
kind
like
of thrown off.
stirred.
To
Wow,
me,
you're
it just
talking
looked it just looked comical, and then it's just like the idea of like just him explode. Like I don't know, it just seems such like a funny like.
You're fucked up, Rachel. How dare you?
It's like such a Looney Tunes thing of like just seeing him get bigger and then just like explode. I was like, that doesn't look gruesome. That just looks like a funny like Looney Tunes cartoon. Like
it kind of did, but then it was
Yeah,
like it kind of threw your mind back though that these are the Avengers, and like literally the Hulk exploded. Like
yeah.
you're just like, yo, that had to be painful to go
Mhm.
through. Like his whole body filled up, and like he just like burst.
Yeah, it didn't look good. But I did like the fact when Nick Fury told Black Widow he Clint staying. I love her response like, who do I have to kill? Like that part I was like, oh shit. You know she mean business now. But go
Mhm.
ahead, Rachel.
no, I don't know. I feel like other than them trying to be like interesting with how they died, like there's not too much to say about the episode. And then of course Loki coming at the end to basically like help but not really help, and then just be like, of course I'm gonna take over Earth because I'm
It,
Loki.
it pretty much
So
led on to like the Avengers movie. But I have a couple of things to say. Apparently, they said the animation was a little bit different in this one. If you really closely look at this animation compared to 2 and 1, they say it's slightly different. We saw like see Black Widow's white eye lines. Apparently, like the animation. Apparently, they said the animation didn't look as good in this one. I
Mm.
mean, I can't really tell the difference. I'm gonna have to rewatch that, but I really couldn't tell. Um, like I
I
said,
think the most obvious differences in animation, I felt like in the second episode, the facial expressions were more expressive and like not fully fluid, but they were definitely more dynamic and like matching the voice acting. Where I feel like the first episode was so bad with that. Like they were just like barely moved expression faces, except for like a couple shots here or there.
Yeah.
And then like this third episode was somewhere in the middle of the two, where it wasn't like super range of emotion to match the voice acting, but like it wasn't as bad as the first episode. Because I was kind of like, I was just hearing like Tom Hiddleston's voice doing Loki. I was like, I could imagine all the facial expressions he would be making as Loki, and like the cartoon wasn't doing it justice. It was kind of like flat. And I'm like, no, you know he would be making this type of face when he's saying this quote or like he's saying this line, and like it just didn't match up, so it just like felt weird.
Yeah,
well,
it was a
did you
little bit more stiff. Like that's feel like the animation a little bit on this one.
did you guys not? Do you guys like the fact? Well, I don't know if you noticed. So the Black Widow voice actress was apparently she's the woman that voices Poison Ivy in the Harley Quinn animation show.
Oh, Belle.
Whatever her name is. From what I heard, from Beyond the Trail, that's what Grace said.
Oh, Lake Bell. Yeah, I know Lake Bell is.
Yeah, I mean, do you
Yeah.
guys? It feels kind of weird not having the voice actors like not voicing their characters, which I get it. It's tough to get everyone back in there, but like Samuel Jackson was there. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. Hank, the guy that voiced Hank Pym, he was the original actor. So like, it feels kind of weird how they don't have the original actors voice like their characters, even though despite the fact it wasn't that long of an episode though. But I'm like,
Yeah.
But my overall thoughts with this episode was, like I said, it was dark. I mean, it was all right. I do like when Fury is gonna go like try to make a deal with Loki. We see like what was that big thing called again? Um, didn't have a face, but like when he talked
Yeah,
to him,
that robot thing.
yeah, it light up. I thought that was pretty cool. And when he was fighting Hank Pym, I'm like, yo, how the hell is Nick Fury like whooping this guy's ass right now? And then later I'm like, oh yeah, it's Loki. So essentially when he says, I didn't care about any of them, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely Loki. Then he's all
Yeah.
laugh. Then he just laughed at him. Was like, yeah, he is sunning you right now. He is sunning you right now. Like he's like, wow, you're trash, bro. You are trash. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, in technical terms, the Avengers are assembled, but he still has Captain America. He's got at the end of the episode, he got Captain Marvel, which he was about to call her. He was about to call her. It was like until like I said, it's all about hope. I'm like, okay, I got a plan. Loki, I'll make a deal with you, yada yada yada. And so yeah. But yeah, with Captain Marvel though being there, she's gonna whoop everyone's ass because you all know how much of cheat code she is. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I thought this episode was just okay. Like I said, I mean, it was a shame to have one to the Avengers, but I mean, there'll be other people to help fight the fight they can't fight. So I mean, it was. I said this movie was like paying homage to a lot of like other to the other movies, and also paying homage to like a couple of like the important sentences that they were saying like hope for what was it like hope for the best, prepare for the worst, something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they said that before. So I like the key things, remembers that they were saying. But I mean, like I said, I mean, we say like I said, normally we have longer discussions with these podcasts, but like since these episodes are like 30 minutes, it's like that's what happened. It's like
Yeah,
nothing
but
much. No, go ahead.
yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of things to like discuss about it too, because when you really think about it, like even like him killing Thor wasn't even thought about yet. Like they didn't even know exactly who he was yet. You know what I mean? But
Oh
so
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
that's true.
almost
That's true.
so it's almost like Penn like knew everything as Nick Fury knew it. Like it was almost like they were talking amongst each other, or he just had access to his files. Like how did he know like who exactly was going to be a part of his team? You know what I'm saying? Like was he involved with Shield? Like because he wasn't he part of his own organization?
He was. He
Penn,
was. I think he was with Shield a long time ago. I believe he
Yeah.
was. Not for that long though, because he already knew Stark and the others, so he worked
Mm.
with Stark.
Yeah,
So
so I just thought it was weird that, like, just like when Nick Fury was like, well, like, how do you even know about Thor? You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, I knew like you were going to like get him over to your side, like eventually. And
mm,
so it was almost like he predicted. So there's
yeah,
one like, and then also too, what I noticed also is that they used that scene from the Incredible Hulk, and it was a completely different actor. So I was like, I was like, that's weird that they threw in the new Bruce Banner, because in that movie it was what's the guy he played in Fight Club? He played Bruce Banner in that movie.
Oh,
mm.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was Bruce Banner in that version of the Hulk, when he breaks out of the glass. So I thought that was like, I don't know, I thought it was a little weird, but I mean I understood that they had to use obviously the actor that they chose towards the end. Um, but yeah, it was he was completely different.
There was one thing that I wanted to say that I completely forgot. Oh yeah, so it's funny how all these things like happen on the same week, like trying to recruit Iron Man, get in Thor. This all happened like in less than a week. So
It's
you can
basically
kind of
just showing that like all the Avengers were killed within a week, and within a week, Loki was able to take Earth, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, all I got was this happened in like in a simple and a not so long time frame, pretty much.
But it also
Uh,
shows but it also shows how well thought out Nick Fury is, because even though that stuff happens, so I'm gonna say two things about Nick Fury, right? So, all right, so it shows how well thought out he was, because I was kind of questioning, and I had to go and watch it again. Like, wait, he just allowed Loki to kind of just take over Earth, like that was like their deal, and all of this. And then at the very end, when Captain Marvel comes in, and he was kind of like, "It's been a long time." I'm like, oh, maybe she's gonna take out Loki at this point. Like
I don't
oh
that's
yeah,
think Loki taking over wasn't part of their deal because Loki was like, "Well, I think I'm going to stay longer than I said I'm going to," and Nick's
yeah.
like, "What?" So he basically like he basically Loki was like, "Ha, you have no one to defend Earth now, so I'm just going to stay here because
I mean, with,
reasons."
I mean, with Thor being out the way, it definitely like helps his plan out even more.
mm,
Like that
yeah,
was that was
so
obviously the goal. Like I think we all knew from the beginning. Like, yes, he's here to so find his brother's killer, but I'm pretty sure deep down he's like possibly happy that his brother's dead, and now he gets to takes over. Finally gets to rule his kingdom now, and that's Earth being his kingdom. But now Captain Marvel's gonna fuck that all up, and and they'll like get Steve out of the ice, obviously. But no, like
yeah,
Fury's always one step ahead, and and honestly, like to me, he definitely showed trust in Black Widow because it might have looked like she did it, but he knows deep down like she didn't do that. So like he definitely trusts like Black Widow, and I love how Black Widow just whooped all those guys' asses in the
oh
truck,
yeah,
and also that one guy that was in the Winter Soldier who died in the beginning of Civil War. I mean, like it was good seeing him again for a little bit. So it was good seeing a lot of like the past characters in this episode.
wait, which person in the Winter Soldier?
I'll show him. Hold up. It's coming. Really forgot his name. All right, I'm going there. I'm going there. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. It takes some fucking time, all right, guys? Like Jesus Christ, you can't rush perfection.
I hear you.
All right, I got it. Let me just share my screen right here. All right, share. I forgot his name again. This dude right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same
I
voice
didn't
actor and
really
everything.
re- I didn't even really realize him or
He's
cared
the
about
dude that
him.
gets beat up in the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I was hoping for Bugger to say before we start, so you want to leave from the truck.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't even pay attention to that guy. I thought he
Yeah,
was just somebody talking trash up front.
mhm. I mean, he was talking trash too in the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
He was. So all right, let me put this on here.
Yeah. But then what I was gonna say second about Nick Fury though was the fact that like he really gave me like Suicide Squad vibes because it's like this guy is like getting this team together and they're pretty much like we want you to defend Earth, but if you die, we're basically sending you on like a suicide mission in some cases.
Yeah, but
You know?
like Marvel did this already before Suicide Squad, so
Well, yeah, no, but I know, yeah. Don't have me like say like they're who's better or whatever. I'm just
and
saying that like
they weren't really and they weren't controlled either. Like it's not like if they didn't do what they do, they would die.
that's true. But then it was like you know what I mean. Like they all like gave their lives. Like they didn't even serve a purpose. It was like they just died. Like they got killed because of his things going on in his past that he messed up with somebody else's family member and they had to pay the price like and it was
I
like they
mean, he
didn't
did
have an
it.
opportunity to like save Earth.
I mean, he didn't mess up. It's like it comes with the job, like that. Like I'm sorry, like it comes with the job. Like it's what else do you want me to do? This is a risk. This is a life or death job. So it's like you knew if you signed up to be Shield, you know what you signed up for. So you got Hank Pym gets to get his head out of his ass. I get that you lost your family, but it's like this is part of the job, motherfucker. Like if you ain't ready to like risk your life, don't do this shit. It's almost like being a cop. You're not ready to risk your life, don't be a cop. Like
I
yeah, so
did recently watch Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp like I think 2 days ago and like it was interesting because like he did have like a crazy attachment to his daughter like especially when his wife like got caught up in the quantum realm.
Michelle
So
Pfeiffer still fine.
she still did look pretty good for her age, like in that movie. And I was just kind of like, you
Yeah.
know, like he was pretty like traumatized even in those movies. So I like how they did show that like if he lost his daughter, just how crazy he would have been like after that. And just like pretty much like all his inventions were pretty genius. Like
Oh yeah.
it was definitely on like a Stark level. Like you know what I mean? Like you have Tony Stark, and it's like, yo, he's the inventor of all this stuff, and like he's incredible. But yo, he was like the forefather also too, like being able to change sizes of like changing his building and making it into like a loser cruiser. So it was just like it's just like interesting like that. I don't know. It just showed that like his brilliance wasn't really appreciated, and then in this like episode, it just showed how smart he was. That like he could kill the Avengers.
Well, that's what I like. I mean, that's what I said is about 1,000 times with the MCU is that the side characters you thought were like, okay, what's so cool special about them? MCU gets them in a lighter in a bigger light. Like I said, Civil War, Ant Man stole that fight. Like he stole that fight. Showed him how much of a badass he can be. In the Endgame, well, I guess the Rat is the MVP, but like he said, hey, we can go back in time, and save the guys. So I mean, yeah, like Ant Man you gotta put some respect on Hank Pym and the family's name with this episode. Like even Derek said in stats on Facebook, you guys should put respect on these guys' names. Like they can easily take out the Avengers if they
Yeah,
wanted
and they also show like the disrespect in Endgame, where they're sitting down talking to the Hulk at the diner, and like the kids come up to the Hulk and they're like, "Oh, we want to take a picture," and he's like, "Oh, you want to take a picture of me? You know who I am?" And the kids are like, "Nah, I don't know who you are." Like
to.
he's like, "Yo, I'm Ant Man," and then Hulk's like, "Yo, he's Ant Man. You want to?" And he's like, "All right, get out of here. You don't want to take a picture. I don't want your sympathy picture." So that movie kind of really showed that like people didn't really care about Ant Man like that. Like he was just kind of like, "Oh, you get smaller. Oh, okay,
Man,
okay,
fuck
cool."
them kids. Fuck them kids, yeah. Fuck them kids.
But I feel like that's with anybody though. Like nobody really talks about Ant Man at all. Like Like we talk about everybody else and give them like a platform. And he had his own movie twice,
Yeah, he's
and
gonna
it's
have
like,
he's gonna have his third movie with Kang. So like, if that's not big time shit right there, of a big time villain, put some respect on his name. And also in the comics, he created Ultron, not Stark. Ant-Man created Ultron. So just saying, he created a badass villain. So
interesting.
respect. Oh, you didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, in the comic, Ant-Man created Ultron.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. I guess we'd all
Annoying.
say put respect on Ant-Man's name at the end of this episode. Well, Hank Pym. One Hank Pym, honestly.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't know, they didn't like really show what they kind of did with him. It's kind of like they just like carted him away. Like, is he gonna die? Like,
Yeah.
for what he's
Honestly,
done.
was there any preview of this episode being, if the Avengers weren't assembled? I don't remember seeing like any preview because we saw that episode that was going to be about T'Challa Star Lord, but this one there was nothing that we saw.
I don't really pay attention to like any trailers for this because I don't even, like, where do they even show them? Because I don't even see them anywhere.
They show they show him like a lot now. Like,
But like
I see
what,
even
on
like
live TV or like on
And it's
just some
social
yeah,
social media.
no?
social media. They do on TV sometimes. It all depends on what, I guess, channel you're watching too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because I
they'll
don't
like,
watch. I haven't watched live TV in years, so I'm like, I have no idea what commercials are even running anymore. Like,
yeah, don't worry about it. You're not missing anything. I think it just
Now,
takes it.
yeah. Now there is something I want to talk about. So since we pretty much got What If out the way, I'm pretty sure y'all saw the new Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So what you guys think about it? What a
I'm
teaser
not gonna
trailer.
start speculating anything because everyone's going like nuts, coming up with millions of theories based off like one screenshot, and it's like, can everyone just calm down? Like,
Green Goblin, Octo, Doctor Ock. Ooh,
I am
like, okay.
excited for that. Yeah, man. Well, there. Someone said this one guess. It's not. This hasn't been confirmed or anything like that. But I feel as though it's a good theory. She's thinking that could be the evil Doctor Strange that's doing all this because remember because what if it's canon and there's gonna be an episode with the evil Doctor Strange. Possibly it's that Doctor Strange that like I said, it's just a possibility that it's this Doctor Strange that's doing it because I don't know if you know that obviously in the trailers Peter asks Doctor Strange, if everyone to forget all of this that I'm not Spider-Man anymore. It's similar to what Spider-Man and Mary Jane did to Mephisto in One More Day. I don't know if you guys read that comic. I need to read it too, but from what I heard is that from what I know is that in that comic Aunt May is shot, and for Peter and Mary Jane to save her, they have to go to Mephisto. But Mephisto will save Aunt May, but and for exchange, they can't get married. So pretty much, it's kind of like reversing. It's like with this now, with the world not knowing Spider-Man, Ned is not gonna know, Aunt May is not gonna know, MJ's not gonna know. So it's like, yo, Doc, why didn't you tell me this before I made before I was gonna you're gonna cast a spell? Like you should have told me about this. So it's a possibility. It's like make a deal with
They showed that in the
Mephisto.
trailer though. They kind of showed that in the trailer a little bit though. They're like, don't tamper with this. Like, this is not,
Yeah,
like, you shouldn't do this.
and Doctor Strange even said in the trailer, "Be careful what you wish for, Peter." That sounded pretty evil. That does not sound pleasant. That sounds like, yo, you done fucked up now. Like that did not sound like a pleasant Doctor Strange right there. And it
To
look,
me,
I mean, everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it was so out of character for him," because I think they're just remembering like the semi more serious Doctor Strange for like Endgame and Infinity War. But like, if you go back and rewatch his movie and like other stuff, like he misuses magic all the time just to like dick around and do stuff, and he doesn't follow the rules with the magic, and like he was not goofy, but he was like he did stuff with magic that like you weren't supposed to do.
Oh yeah, no. I kind of agree. Like that's
So,
even how he got his doctor job too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like excuse me, just burp right there. Like, so the tone of voice, and now maybe he did mature. Like I said, this is all speculation. It's not 100% not true, but we do
that's why
see
it bugs me when like people like it's just started to get annoying with like between all the shows and like now trailers. It's just like getting like tiring of just seeing everyone jumping on TikTok right away to come up with these million theories, and it's just like.
Well,
Can you guys just enjoy something just to enjoy it and just wait until the freaking movie comes out?
It's still fun. It's still fun to think about. And trust me, if you think I'm bad, be glad that Derek's not here. Derek would be going off the roof right now, especially with his Mephisto shit. But it's still cool to think about though. And my last point. When we see Doc Octopus say hello, Peter, I think it's to Tobey Maguire because he doesn't know this version of Spider-Man. So it's like, how can he tell hello, Peter? He knows that he's already Spider-Man. Like, I think it's a different. He's onto a different. Peter Parker. So that's just
the
my
only
last.
like legit speculation that I feel like people can say is probably true is like we already know that Marvel, especially with some of the Spider-Man movies, like in the trailers they swap out like suits or they swap out like characters for certain scenes just for the trailer to like keep stuff secret. So like. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, him, like, doing a Spider-Man pose on top of the car, like, if that's supposed to be another Spider-Man, like, either Toby or whoever, and it's not supposed to be him, and just, like, stuck his face on it. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they showed, like, just enough, and didn't give away, like, everything.
Yeah.
I think this one is going to have a lot of, like, stuff that is going to surprise people. Because
it already broke the record.
Yeah, just because of the fact that they threw out like a lot of things that were obvious. It's like it makes you wonder, okay, what else are they gonna throw in there? What other like main villain are they gonna throw in this one? Because I feel like they're just gonna be the side. I think they're gonna be the side villains. And the only thing that I didn't like seeing like a little bit in this trailer is this whole thing that Marvel does when they try to make the characters funny. And I could tell that they're about to try to make Doctor Strange a little funny, and I'm like, please don't do that. Like, I don't think that you necessarily have to always do it, especially when you got Peter Parker in the movie. Like, it's like, why does he have like a jacket, like a winter jacket kind of like outfit compared to like his like usual attire, and it all matches like the.
Well, for some reason, his whole bit like inside is covered in snow for some reason.
Yeah.
So like
I don't know what's going on with that.
I know, but then to me, I know that they're gonna try to be funny in that sense. You know what I mean? Like something's gonna happen where it's like,
he's a bit of a cocky guy though, and he kind of brings a little bit funny. Like you kind of get the vibe from him though.
He's not funny though. I don't remember any part of like Doctor Strange that was like really like this like really.
I'm not like in a cocky, arrogant way. Like he was doing that he was doing it a couple of times in the movie, in the original one, and two. I'm not saying he was being funny on purpose. We still had like that funny little bit vibe. But my concern is Doctor Strange and all the other villains kind of steal the show from Tom Holland because it is his movie at the end of the day. Like this is Spider-Man we're talking about. Like I'm just afraid that Doctor Strange or the villains might like take the spotlight from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I hope not. And another villain. I hope not. Like I hope not. But Electro is going to be in the movie because it was reported that Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro in this movie. They definitely said that. Like that is definitely a thing right there.
I just think there's going to be a lot more to it. Like obviously, like they're putting out a lot of like theories, but I'm curious as to what they're going to do with it. I think it should be pretty good.
Yeah. It's gonna be good movie. No, I think it's gonna be good.
I mean, there's also the thing too with the villains coming back that like they're basically setting the Sinister Six thing. Like
I think that might be too hype because even if it is Sinister Six, We only have 5 of them so far. He will be that last one. Like you can't
Eh.
put Vulture. You can't put Vulture in it.
Well,
I
he
don't.
is in it.
Well, wait, technically he is, but it's like after how Homecoming ended, it's like what would be the reason for him to take the Vulture suit again?
I
Like,
don't know, because he got pissed off about something.
I
but
don't know.
you know, no.
Different universe.
He don't know, but he knows well, different universe too. But he knows that Spider-Man saved his daughter. He at least like that. But I know the original Sinister Six is Doctor Octopus, Vulture, Kraven the Hunter, Electro. Who else?
Mysterio and Sandman.
Mysterio is exactly, yeah. Who knows? Who knows if you know if Mysterio is technically dead? And also in the trailer, I guess he does it. I guess he got proved his innocence because everybody knew he was Spider-Man, but he wasn't like in prison or anything like that. He was just being interrogated. It seemed like everyone knew his identity and they could see him as a criminal at that point.
But he was
It's probably one of those
public
things.
enemy.
It's probably one of those things where it's like, oh, it's like he said this, but we can't prove it, so like it's just a rumor, and then everyone's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, yo, why didn't they just have a Super Scroll just disguised as Peter Parker or whatever like that, just to make it like it just would make that whole problem go away, honestly. But you know, we got to suspense it up a little bit.
Like you would think, wouldn't it have been easier for Strange to like do some weird spell where he just changed someone's face to look like Peter?
Yeah, so he made it, and then the fact that you mean to tell me Peter talking distracted you a bit to fuck all that up. I'm thinking like, really? I feel so that wasn't like enough of a reason to like change the multiverse. I'm like, really? By Peter just talking like that? Like there was no like no one didn't come flying through, no one tried to like fight anything like that, just by Peter like saying, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, really? That's the reason why? I just thought that for me. I didn't like that. That's just my opinion, though.
Well, I'm wondering if they made it look like that, but I'm wondering if like
That's true.
it happens at the same exact point that like Loki and WandaVision, like how they line up their times, that like the exact moment that like the multiverse is like creating itself and Wanda hears her kids, like how those timestamps line up. It'll be funny if like that moment happens at the same timestamp, because that's like maybe the spell broke because he's trying to reverse time, but now that there's multiple timelines, it can't connect to which one that he's trying to alter for Peter, so then it just like breaks itself.
Yeah, got a point there. Good point there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people changing up time right now. It's crazy.
Like I said, the multiverse has begun. But did you guys also see the Marvel Midnight Suns game trailer?
No.
No, it's a pretty interesting just Midnight Sun story with adding a new character. Saw like Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Iron
Well, I don't
Man.
even know what that is, so like I
It's
don't know.
Midnight Suns. It's a 90s comic book, which is like 90s Marvel comic, which like like the pretty like the dark stuff, like the zombies, like the mystical stuff, pretty much, like Blades in it. So I thought it was pretty interesting. Looked pretty cool. Looked pretty
I don't
cool.
know. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing the Thanos Gamora episode.
Yeah, Thanos Gamora. Is that the next one they said?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it that much, but I know I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking.
I went out and searched for my Funkos. I got, T'Challa Star Lord. I got the FY exclusive one, and I got the one with the face mask. And then when I was in there, I was like, yo, I gotta look for the Thanos Gamora. They didn't have her in like all the malls, so I had to I checked this one mall near my job, and they had one left. So I got all three. I'm set. That's all I
Wait,
wanted.
near your job? Wait, in King of Prussia?
No. Princeton. So when we were at
Okay.
King of Prussia, like I finished my Suicide Squad collection, but I got a T'Challa and Gamora by my job in Princeton.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so okay, so listen, we talked about that. Nothing. It's funny how like when the trailer gets leaked online, soon after the actual teaser gets released, so they're like, "Shit, we gotta hurry up, we gotta release this now," because apparently the leaked teaser was the same thing that we got online.
No,
Oh, it wasn't. It was there was some difference in it.
I don't know if it's the same one because there's like it's like right around the same time, but there was like a really good fan made trailer that like was shot on a phone, like on a computer with like, and they tried to make it look like it was a leak because there was like a watermark over it and like whatever, and like it tried to make it look like it was a leak, but like it was obviously a fan made trailer because you could tell like how they spliced scenes from like the other Spider-Man movies to like fit in. So
So
that's the
that
one
was
I saw, but like I don't know
no,
what the like
yeah,
leaked one was.
no. The one that we saw online, that was the official. That was the leaked one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
guess.
saw that one. I saw that one too. So I'm just gonna stop watching those things because it's just
Well,
gonna give it away.
yeah, there was rumors saying that there was going to be possibly be like no trailer, which I would have been fine with that, honestly. But I
I mean,
mean,
it would have
like,
been smart because I mean, it's like you're hyping it up so much that like basically everyone's doing the marketing for you by hyping it up.
but I mean,
Like,
I think you got to show something though. I mean, they already broke like viewership records right there, so like the hype was definitely built up. It was definitely built up from that. So, like, I think I don't want to see another trailer though. Like, if it comes out, I will watch it, but I don't want to see another one though. Like, I don't. I hope they don't release another one. Just leave it like that. Let's wait until the holidays, and then we'll be hopefully satisfied with that movie.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
I mean, it's Spider Man. Hopefully don't get into another disagreement, Marvel and Sony. Which something's probably gonna happen. I'm not gonna front. Of how much money this movie makes, somebody's gonna say something. Let's be real about that.
Hopefully.
And there's one thing I want. There's one thing I wanted to say. Fuck. I hate when I always have something to say. Like shit. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all got any last words for today's episode? Like I said, obviously, guys, Derek's not here today. He had to go to work, so unfortunately, the family's fully not here yet. So, oh yeah, so yeah, that's what I say. Next week's gonna be a little bit difficult for me because I am gonna be going away next weekend. I'm going to Atlanta for my cousin's birthday, not birthday, wedding. And then that same weekend. How do you pronounce it? Is it Shang or Shung for the
Shang-Chi.
Shang.
Shang
Oh,
Chi?
Shang-Chi.
I heard the movie. That movie's been getting good reviews right now, so I'm excited for that movie.
I'm mad that like Disney's treating it like shit though.
What are they doing? 'Cause I heard
Well, they outright said they're using this movie as like an experiment to see like how well it does for like in theaters with a longer theater run before they put it on Disney Plus. Basically what they should have done with Black Widow so they didn't have the whole Scarlett Johansson problem. And they like barely promoted it. Like people didn't even know that it like premiered. Or like they had like that whole like thing for it the other day. Like they're barely doing any promo stuff for it. Like the actor himself is like doing the most hype work on Twitter, like posting stuff and like trying to get more stuff about the movie. And it's just like Disney's kind of just like, we don't really care about it because they probably think it's gonna flop.
Yeah, just because it's like not the ordinary like Marvel hero. Like it's kind of like we're not gonna put too much into it because it's like it's almost like another like kung fu kind of movie, and it kind of got
Doctor
like the Doctor
Strange.
Strange vibe.
Doctor Strange
Yeah,
wasn't your ordinary type of movie. Black
yeah.
Panther was a little bit different. Like, so what do you like that?
Yeah, but it's still like
Mm,
typical
Etern-
superhero.
Eternals. No, we know it's a super. Like, don't be wrong. It's like, but it's still like there. It's still a little bit of like Doctor Strange from what you see from previous Marvel movies. That's different. We didn't get the whole sorcery or no magic thing. And with Shang Chi, we didn't even get this whole like kung fu, martial arts. We didn't get that type of thing from the earlier movies. So like it is different, but you still treat it like the same. People are still going to see the movie regardless. Like I said, it's MCU. Like y'all curated a dynasty, empire. Why would your fans not want to be excited for that? But I think that's corny though for them to be doing that. But Disney being on some bullshit right now with this whole Disney Plus thing.
Well,
Not to say I don't like it.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, like they try to do the whole thing with Black Widow. I mean, this whole pandemic has pretty much messed up a lot of like things or plans that they
Yeah,
had.
but Chapek's
And I think-
basically being an asshole using COVID-19 as like something to hide behind of him just being an ass. Like the whole thing with Scarlet was like just him being an asshole. Like people inside Disney that were close with Marvel, they were like, yeah, like he's the one that ordered that. Like we were all surprised that he basically shit on Scarlet like that. Like apparently from her PR, her manager, whatever the hell they are, her lawyers and stuff, they tried reaching out to Disney like multiple times the closer it got to thing, and they kept changing the date and stuff because it's like, okay, when we first made this contract, Disney Plus wasn't really a thing yet, and theaters weren't like screwed. So like now it's been over a year, and you're now like Disney Plus has been established, and we see how big it is. We want to rework her contract, like because this is kind of BS, especially since now you're planning to release it same day on Disney Plus as theaters when you know that all her money that she makes from this movie is theaters only. And they basically ignored them and like basically didn't want to redo her contract. And then when she just asked like, hey, you made way more bank on Disney Plus for my movie than theaters, like that's kind of fucked up that like I don't get any of that. Which is pretty reasonable to like say. And then they're kind of like, no, fuck you, like you're just greedy and it's because COVID, you should understand. It's like, no, you had all this time knowing what you were doing. Like, it's not an excuse.
That's interesting. But, you know, I mean, I don't want to base it off of this, but, like, it's kind of weird that they did the same stuff to the movie Mulan, too. Like, me personally, like, I don't know. Like, I started looking into things in another way. It's like, did you think that you weren't going to make enough money because of the whole situation that's going on right now with like China and all this other stuff? You know what I mean? So like I'm not sure if they thought that like, oh, this movie might not make enough money, so we're just gonna, you know, nix this all together.
I mean, if they did that, then I think that's fine, but then don't screw over the actors that you already made deals with. Like,
and I get that too, and I mean, Rachel, I completely agree where you're coming from. I agree with that, but back to Anthony's point though, if it wasn't for COVID, this shit would have happened. Like, great, I'm glad it happened to see how much of it, how much you can show the world how true of a dick you are. But had it not been for COVID, this shit would have happened. Like, let's be honest. Like Anthony said, the elephant in the room is COVID. It's fucked up everything for movies right now.
But it's the way you react to the situation. Like,
yeah.
Like these people, like especially Scarlett, she's been in these movies for over 10 years. Like you're gonna like basically screw her over like that and basically just say fuck you because you're not in the movies anymore, so we don't care. Like that's just like, how do you as Disney and as a huge company that works with big name people, if you're constantly screwing over people like that are in your movies, then who's gonna want to work for you? Or they're going to start like making sure every little cross and dot on their contract is like perfect so that they don't screw it over.
You know who's going to still work with Disney? People that know that they're going to get a movie role that they're going to last for a little while and make a nice check. Like Scarlett Johansson didn't have to make any other movies because she was a part of this Avenger franchise. So like I think like it was messed up. Like going with what you're saying. It's messed up because I feel like they knew that this was going to be her last role. Yeah. So it was kind of like that. It was almost like a LeBron James effect. It was like, yo, you leaving Cleveland? All right, well, you know, forget you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we could do whatever we want with your movie now.
Well, it's funny because, like, even though she's done with, like, as far as we know, she was done with the Marvel stuff, but, like, she was going to be involved in future, like, upcoming movies that Disney owned. and now like she's immediately kicked off of the projects, and like they just kicked her out of everything.
That
I mean,
sounds a little interesting to me.
honestly, this could be. I mean, this could be a bad thing in the future right now. Like it
Yeah,
might. It hasn't been really talked about as much right now, but like the lasting effect, it could, like it could be possibly the LeBron effect. But I will say this though, when LeBron left Cleveland, they were trash. Scarlett Johansson leaving Disney, they're still gonna be banked, but like how it's gonna affect them in the long run, we gotta wait and see for that.
yeah. That may
Because
they may speak volumes on why she wasn't in What If. So I was like, I don't want to be a part of anything y'all got going on. And this was made before, way before. So
exactly because
there
Chad
may
Boseman was
be
still
something
around.
personal. Yeah, it may be something personal. Who knows?
It's kind of
Man,
like upsetting to see, like a week or so ago that like apparently Emma's now not deciding to try and sue Disney because like she still wants to play Cruella and
I was
like
I
all
was
those
I was getting
people.
ready to say that. I was getting ready
It's
to say
like
that.
like I understand you like Hollywood sucks where like you don't want to get blacklisted and you don't want to get like shit on in the community for in Hollywood because whoever you know, and if you piss off Disney then like other whatever, it's like a ripple effect. Like I get it, like you don't want to ruin your career, but at the same time it sucks that like you basically have to put up with their crap because you still want to be able to like have a job.
Selling,
Like it's just
selling your
Well,
soul.
we're getting deep into right now. Now Disney gonna be coming after this podcast because no,
well
I'm dead serious because what you're saying is true. It's not even just for like the movies. Even people that are animators, like you do something wrong or you know what I mean, or if you have any kind of bad taste with Disney, like you're like blacklisted from like getting any kind of jobs in any other animation studios if you know what I mean, if you do them wrong.
Dude, man, what do you like? I'm pretty sure like the actors from Eternals are looking at this right now. Spider-Man. No, there's no way in hell you're gonna put that movie on Disney Plus. You put that on Disney Plus. You thought Scarlett Johansson was bad? Oh no, it's gonna be a lot worse. It's gonna be a lot
I
worse.
just feel like maybe like Emma, like past people aren't going to say anything, but I think definitely moving forward now, like actors are seeing this and they're going to basically make sure that they get their proper
Hmm.
percentage of stuff because like they just see
Yeah,
this and they're like, nope.
they better
Like that.
look at that contract.
Yeah, look at that contract. Shit, nah.
Although I will say, like the same kind of thing happened earlier, um, earlier this year, didn't it? When like Wonder Woman 1984 came out, because like they released it on HBO or whatever at the same time as something, and then like Gal Gadot got like pissy about it, understandably, but like she lost out money because they streamed it or whatever. So,
Yeah, but the movie was trash though. So that part I was just like, eh.
Yeah,
well,
The
trash
movie,
regardless. It's still that was still
booty
another messed up
juice, booty
situation. But
juice. Yeah,
that movie
it
was
is.
booty juice.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, I mean, nothing for nothing. I'm not gonna like bash it, but Black Widow wasn't all that great either. But you know,
like I said it 1,000 times. Decent movie, no point of it. It
yeah,
didn't, then there was nothing that carried on. We just found out her sister is gonna try to fight. It's gonna try to kill Hawkeye, and that's gonna be in the Hawkeye series. That's it. That's the only thing that we took away from that.
yeah.
Yeah, but man, this is
Listen,
good, man. No, this is good, man. I love this. I love this topic that we had today, guys. Like I said, with the episode that I'm like, okay, there's no way how we're gonna talk about this episode for about an hour. We gotta talk about the Spider Man, and then I wasn't even talking about Disney, how a bunch of other dicks they are, but like no, I like that too, man. But I have honestly the only thing I can say right now for next week. I know, and I understand if y'all can't do this. Completely understand because due to everyone's schedule. But for me, the best day for me to do this next week is Wednesday because I leave Thursday, and I'm going to be gone, and I come back on Sunday night. There's going to be no point of doing an episode discussion on Monday when the newest episode is going to be coming out that Wednesday. So like the only day I can really do a discussion will be Wednesday because like I said because I'm off on Thursday and when I go to Atlanta. So if
yeah.
anyone's available.
I mean, we could talk. Yeah, we could talk about it. I guess after the podcast is done. But
Yeah, we talk about more about that. But no, everyone, any last words before we head up out of here? Like I said, I really enjoyed the discussion today. Like I said, very, very fun, very, very informal too.
Now, I guess my last words is pretty much what we were kind of ending off on, like with Shang Chi is like, I'm sorry to go back to Shang Chi, but I think we people should give it a chance.
It's
You
gonna
know,
be
based off
good.
of based off of the trailers, like I think that people are going to it like, oh, it's just gonna be some ordinary kung fu kind of movie, like may have a little bit of Doctor Strange like kind of feel to it, but I think that what they've shown, like they're not showing everything, and it should be a pretty good movie. And I would say like I was kind of thrown off because I recently watched that Snake Eyes movie that came out, and I was like, man, I don't really want to see this. I think it's
Wasn't that
Yo,
corny.
trash? I heard
I,
that like
I heard
was
it was,
kind
I
of
heard it was
trash.
bad.
No, it was actually pretty decent. Like, have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
I want to see it.
No, give it a try. I swear, give it a try. I thought it was gonna be really, really bad. Yeah, there was some
No,
points of it that I was
here,
like, eh.
no, here's the thing with Rachel. If she says, "and," she's not gonna watch it. Like she
Nah.
like, yeah, like if
That's
it's
how it
on
was
some,
though.
like if
I
and I think
know.
if someone's, I think it's if she goes to somebody's house and they're watching, like, okay, I'll watch it. But like if she's not feeling it, she's not gonna watch it.
I
It's
know.
hard
I get
enough for
it.
me to
I
keep up
get.
with the shows that I do want to watch and like want to watch them. So if I'm totally disinterested, there's no way I'm watching it. Like,
I get it. I get it. And that's how I was with this movie because I was like, Snake Eyes is one of my favorites, and I was like, I don't think they're gonna do it that well, and it just happened to be on one night, and I was just like, wow, this is like actually pretty good, and I'm actually pretty excited about what they might do with the GI Joe franchise from this, to be honest. Like the
Was it
way they
better?
portray
Was it better than the original GI Joe movie?
10 times better than that.
But then they had a
I'm
second one
like,
too, right?
yeah, they had one with the Wins, and they had one that had I think Dwayne Johnson in it.
Well,
But
he's the
it's
man though.
completely different than how they made those movies, and like the way systematically they did it, they didn't rush it too much the way you're like, oh, they rushed this, they rushed that. Like I feel like they're really gonna bring that GI Joe franchise into a better light. I'm telling you, if you get a chance, if you stumble upon it, I'm telling you, just give it a try. But I think with that being said, I think Shang-Chi probably would be really good too.
Yeah, I think a little bit. So if you're a Marvel, here's the thing: don't call yourself an MCU fan if you're choosing not to watch this movie because you're like, oh, it's gonna be a typical uh kung fu movie. Tell you one thing, I'm more excited to watch Shang-Chi than the Eternals because the Eternals, I'm like, okay, I'm sure the Eternals will be good. I'm not gonna take any away from it, but like the Eternals hasn't really like truly excite me. I'm like, okay, I'm more to honestly with the I know you saw the meme. It was like Shang-Chi. It was like what if trailer. Shang-Chi's about to shoot it. Internals trailers, but they're about to shoot Internals. They see the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer about to shoot all of them right there. Like it's pretty much like that right there.
Mm.
Y'all know what I'm talking about though. All right, Rachel, my dear. Any last
Mm.
words for you?
No, pretty much it.
That's it. All right. Well, as always, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys missed this podcast, it will be on, like I said, we'll be on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all pretty much majority of podcast platforms. Get this video, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow every other social media accounts that I'll have in the description. And you guys, everyone, guys, be safe out there, and we'll see you guys hopefully, next year, depending on how like my schedule is. All right, y'all be safe. Take care.